Alright, Yumiko, how's that, feminine intuition working out for you? Sakaki Yumiko had not slept well. Unfortunately, hot under her blanket, she'd tossed and turned for hours, and now she'd awoken to the aggravating shrill voices of cicadas, and quite possibly other ladies that also live in the house. The dorm. The silk shirt she wore instead of a pajama top was glued to her skin with sweat. It was incredibly unpleasant. Yumiko rose in her bed with all the grace of a lumbering bear coming out of hibernation, then lowered her feet to the floor, quite cold thanks to the air conditioning, sluggishly took off her clothes, and made for the bathroom. In the shower, she briefly rinsed her stiff, sweaty hair with a chamomile oil shampoo, then wiped the stickiness from her skin with plenty of body wash. At this point, she finally began to regain the capacity for coherent thought. Dude, all that was on autopilot. There hadn't been a great deal of plausible information among the rumors she'd spent the previous night gathering. Sensing that she reached the limits of her personal investigative skills and capabilities, Yumiko had been forced to consider altering her methods. Specifically, it didn't seem like she'd be getting any further browsing the internet from her room. And so, she'd resolved to meet an information broker face to face. Oh boy. This was something of a daunting prospect for a semi-shut-in, box-cutter brandishing woman whose interpersonal skills left much to be desired. We're sending Yumiko? Really? But there really wasn't any other choice. Oh boy, under the circumstances, it wouldn't be right to complain about the nuisance or to push the task on someone else. By now, Yumiko had already decided to meet with an individual she'd settled on the previous night. The meeting place this information broker had specified, I hear the train, was about an hour and a half from Mahama by train. There it is. What are you thinking? The neighborhood was inconveniently located. She needed to decide whether to go by the way of Shinagawa, Yokohama, or Shibuya. Once she arrived, a 5-minute walk from the station brought her to the middle of a sloping hill road. Oh, well. She's even got a map and everything. Despite the cellular computing device she carried with her, Yumiko was referring to a map she'd printed out on paper, as if to take a stand against the imminent death of analog culture. Looking up from it, she gazed at a sign on the soba shop in front of her. Sure enough, it read Okadaya. Next, her eyes found the smaller sign, which read, now offering Wi-Fi, as if advertising a new menu item. Dude, you have to say that as like anything. This was oddly disconcerting. She'd only just taken a shower, but she could feel cold beads of sweat forming on her forehead. I don't see a problem. You gotta get with the times, right? It seemed bizarre. Extremely bizarre. Who took their laptop to a soba restaurant, and what exactly did the smaller sign that simply read "Made Soba" even mean? Oh, Jesus. Yumiko, what have we gotten herself into? Why exactly did she have to set foot in this dubious establishment anyway? Oh, lordy lord. To answer that question, we would have to return to the previous night. Yumiko had been sitting in front of her laptop, rubbing her porcelain white chin and groaning to herself as she reviewed the copious amounts of absolutely nonsensical information she'd obtained. And she's frustrated. Perhaps I should change my approach. She knew much of this intelligence had to be nonsense, but she didn't have any way to separate that fact from the fictions. Accordingly, Yumiko switched her focus to searching for an individual who could evaluate the authenticity of the reports she'd gathered. In other words, she stopped looking for information on Kazami Yuji and began to look for information on sources who'd be familiar with Kazami Yuji's case. Alright, I like it. Among these, an individual known as Jimmy Okada, was mentioned as providing accurate and plentiful intelligence. Yumiko had groaned at the sight of that name. It would have been more appropriate for a guitarist in a Japanese rock band. But the man was an information broker's... But the man was an information broker's information broker. Jesus. Hopefully that meant something. Looking into Okada, she found that he'd belonged to the intelligence department of a major powers armed forces. Oh, Lord. But was dismissed due to certain character flaws. He was now a civilian, although the military kept an eye on him. Hold on, I'm piecing the dots together. God damn it. She'd assumed it would be difficult to get in touch with such an individual, but that fear proved to be unfounded. A few minutes on Facebook, the world's most popular social networking website, and she'd struck up a conversation with him. It was almost anticlimactic. Motherfucker, I think I know who it is. Just from the way they kept intelligence, military, character flaws. Come on, it has to be Robbie. I'm not stupid. God damn it. If it is, that's amazing. In any case, while arranging a meeting with Jimmy Okada, but that's the thing, why would his name be, that's just an alias, right? But anyway, it's been surprisingly easy. The place he designated for their discussion was this odd little establishment. A maid-themed soba restaurant with private rooms and Wi-Fi. That also makes sense with Robbie. Come on! Give this to me, game! Honestly, it was beyond odd. Bizarre felt about right. Sakaki Yumiko felt something like a woman who'd been drinking cocktails with her boyfriend in a stylish blues bar, only to develop a sudden need to defecate, forcing her to decide if she'd look for the bathroom. But doing her best to push her anxiety aside, she reached out for the door to the restaurant. I need this! Give it to me! I need it inside me! As the sliding door rattled open, a loud voice immediately reached Himiko's ears. Motherfucker! God damn it! Stopping abruptly at the sound of this deranged diatribe, Yumiko turned her eyes tentatively toward its source. An employee was sitting in the kitchen, holding his head and screaming as he played an eroge on his laptop computer. Uh-huh. I've come to a terrible place. Dude, come on. In that moment, a profound sense of regret washed over her. Who the shit are you? I mean, they did say maid on, so... As Yumiko stood hesitantly in the doorway, a cat-eared maid abruptly appeared before her. For some reason, she was speaking in an oddly shrill voice, almost like that of an anime character. Did she just say... meow? A bit of a cold shiver ran down Yumiko's spine. But after coming all this way, she couldn't bring herself to go home empty-handed. Dude, Yumiko's so out of her element. I love it. God. Good lord, she's keeping in character. This is fantastic. She literally just said watch out. Yumiko, she's already not amused by you. Why am I doing? Oh, yeah. Hurriedly removing her shoes, Yumiko let the superficially polite, cat-eared maid guide her to the back of the restaurant, then kneeled down on her floor cushion to wait. The maid soon appeared with a bowl of chicken giblets. This face. I feel like it's the person that was screaming incoherently at his computer. And by incoherently, I mean we heard everything he fucking said. Ooh. Placing a glass in Yumiko's hand, the maid proceeded to uncork a bottle of beer. Well, hold on. Well, at least it's non-alcoholic, but then why would I call it beer at that point? Poor Yumiko, she's just... I mean... Oh my god. Yumiko, I think we should... You know what? Let's just plow through this, Yumiko. You and me. Dude, cat puns and wordplay funks me up so much. Honestly, what is with this place? Well, whatever. She didn't have anything to do with wait. She didn't have anything to do with what? She Brain. Am I reading that right? She didn't have anything to do with herself until Jimmy arrived. Okay. Brain, you finally made sense of it. Might as well browse the internet while working on her chicken and non-alcoholic beer, which it shouldn't even be called beer. After booting up the ultra-portable notebook she'd brought along, Yumiko pressed the F key to turn on its Wi-Fi. She couldn't help smiling in amusement when it actually found an open network. Glancing at the clock in the corner of her PC screen, she realized that the time for her meeting with Jimmy had come and gone without any sign of him. Perhaps it just isn't that easy to meet with a top-flight information broker. Or maybe circumstances had changed somehow in a way that had prevented him from meeting her. No, he's here. Dude, you heard the voice. You heard the descriptions. You're calling it. Trying to suppress her anxiety, she waited for a full 20 minutes. Using the store's internet connection, she sent a number of Facebook messages to Jimmy, but there was no response whatsoever. Have I been stood up? Come to think of it, perhaps it was a bit ridiculous to imagine that a mere student could so easily arrange a meeting with a former intelligence officer from a major world power. There was nothing for it. She just had to make a fresh start. With her mind made up, Yumiko called out to the cat-eared maid in order to request for her bill. It's like, oh no, you ain't. Feel like it'd probably be better hot, but let's... Yumiko's gonna be forced into this. See? Because she's bad in social situations. It would feel rather awkward to leave the restaurant having ordered nothing but an appetizer. Sakaki Yumiko had her strengths, but she could be quite cowardly about the oddest things. Mostly social stuff. After less than 5 minutes of waiting, her soba arrived. This store was bizarre, as were its employees. She'd been given a serving of chicken giblets she never asked for, and their idea of katsudon was rather odd, but the soba itself looked ordinary enough. Still more than a little dubious, Yumiko cautiously began to eat her food, but found it perfectly edible. In fact, it was downright delicious. Thinking back, she realized that her last meal had been an oiyang yakisoba that Komine Sachi had prepared for her last night. Suddenly remembering the fact that her belly was empty, she proceeded to gobble down the soba with gusto. Might as well. With her stomach feeling somewhat fuller, she was just about to stand up and ask for the bill. when a certain shady-looking foreigner appeared at her side, carrying a small pot of water and a few condiments. Come on.
いや僕の売ったお蕎麦はどうだったかなこれ、蕎麦湯。そのまま飲んでよし、おつゆを割って薬味プレイもありだね。
God fucking damn it! Jesus Christ! I'm happy. I'm happy. This man was remarkably suspicious looking. That said, she had to admit the soba water was delicious.
で、何が聞きたいんだい
Oh. Just sits down.
は
何か情報が欲しくて僕に会いに来たんだろ君はジェームズ岡田に会いに来たんだろ僕がジェームズだ。
Yumiko's losing it. In an instant, Yumiko's mental image of a sharp, steely-eyed intelligence operative crumbled to dust. Dude, he's great though. Come on. We know he's great. It was something of a shock to learn that James Okada was in fact a hentai-loving nerd who played eroge while making soba. Given that Yumiko's level of stress and confusion had already been elevated for some time, it was honestly difficult to resist the urge to scream.
まあ何にせよよろしくだね。僕はジェームズ岡田。ジミーでいいよ。
Jesus, what is this?
おう、君の自己紹介はいらないよ。もう調べてあるからね。
The With this remark, Jimmy offered a casual, friendly smile. Calm down, Yumiko. You're on your opponent's home turf. You've already lost if you let him get you all flustered. Although she honestly wasn't sure that winning would even constitute in the situation, Yumiko nonetheless cleared her throat and tried to calm herself.
ジェームズ岡田って本名ですか
No.
本名である必要なんてあるのかなくだらない質問だね。戻ってエロゲの続きをしてもいいかい
He just brings it over and plays it in front of her.
待って聞きたいことが
That'd be amazing.
わかっているさ。君が聞きたいことは
Lay it on me, Robbie.
はい。
つまり君はさっきの猫耳メイドについて知りたいんだね
I mean, I am, kinda, but...
違う
彼女は僕の嫁さそう僕が嫁と知り合ったきっかけは秋葉原のメイド喫茶で出会ったのが最初で
Oh my god. Oh no, he's a complete man-child. Regret weighed heavily on Yumiko's mind. It would have been better not to come. Was this man really a former intelligence operative who worked for a major power? Yes. Yes, he is. Well, perhaps his personality had been exactly why he lost that job with his organization. He seemed to enjoy blathering endlessly on regarding things you hadn't asked him about. That seemed like a potentially serious flaw for someone involved in top secret matters of national defense.
というわけで僕は彼女との結婚を決めて彼女の実家である蕎麦屋を継ぐことにしたのさ理解できたかい
I mean, we missed a lot of the story, but hey, nice to see Robbie found some love.
はいよく理解しましたそれで風見雄二の件ですけれど
Come on, Robbie. I love you. Now.
おーはいはいユーズリーの話だったねもちろん知っている彼なら今市ヶ谷の地下に監禁されているよ
With the professor thingy.
それはなぜというかそもそもあなたはなぜ彼のことを知っているの
そこから話すのかいもう古い話さ
I mean, she knows the full story, though. Like, I mean, it was written down, right? What Yuji was telling JB is exactly the same thing that they were reading, yes? So they would... I mean, she doesn't know his name, so... Well, true name, so... Oh no, this might go on for hours. The idea of listening to him prattle on was was rather aggravating, but an executive summary might not get her to the truth. Often, you'll learn more from the idle chatter of your source than the words they choose more carefully.
まあ簡単に言ってしまえば、僕とユーズリーは軍の同期だ。それに彼が市ヶ谷に飛ばされた後、僕はその親会社でシステムエンジニアをしていたからね。彼のことはそれなりに知っている。
ということは、もしかしてあなたがロビー？
Okay, so she's a smart girl, so she picked up on it real fucking quick.
おっと、その名前の男はもう死んだよ。僕はあくまでもジェームズ岡田さ。
Why say that?
死んだ？
そう、ロバート・ウォルソンはとある諜報機関の地下であるものを作っていた。というか、作るのを手伝わされていたというべきかな。
Mm-hmm. We know a little about that. No, we only know that he was involved.
そのあるものとは？
君、名前なんて言ったっけ？
You said not to have her introduce herself. God fucking...
榊由美子です。
サクアキ？
God damn it.
榊。
I love that.
どうにも日本人の名前は発音が難しいね、ジュビコ。
I mean, they are, but at least for me, but at least I could still say Sakaki Yumiko.
由美子。
Yumiko's got the short temper.
まあいい、ジュビコ。とにかく君、シギントって言葉を知ってるかい？
We will now call her Jubiko.
確か通信傍受による情報活動網のことですよね。
そう、つまりその通信傍受に必要な莫大な計算をするには極めて高性能なコンピューターが必要になる。そのコンピューターを極秘開発していたってわけだね。
Okay.
でも日本にはもうシギントシステムが存在するでしょ？
まあね。でもそれは通報法を遵守した表向きのシステムだ。僕らが作っていたのは何者にも縛られない規制外のシステムだ。
Oh, unrestricted.
そんなものがこの日本に。
まあちなみにね、この店でオープンになっている無線 LAN の回線もそのシステムを中継している回線だ。
What?
つまり君はさっきからそのネットブックで間接的にシギントシステムにアクセスしていたってわけさ。
Wow.
え？
ああ、心配はいらないよ。システムの障害を利用してこっそりとアクセスする回線だからね。システム本体はもちろん管理者にも発見はされないし、君のパソコンのデータも盗み見されるようなことはない。
Okay. I was very concerned for a second.
逆にこちらからはシギントシステムがクロールして集めた情報をある程度までは盗み見ることができる。ユーズリーに関する情報もそこから集めたものだ。
God damn. All right. I think
では風見雄二が市ヶ谷の地下に監禁されているという情報は？
we're in business.
もちろん本当だ。僕の嫁も間違いないって言ってるし。
My wife, good lord, please.
嫁が？
End me.
まあそんなことはどうでもいいだろう。他に聞きたいことは？
ではなぜ風見雄二が？
それは昨日のチャットで説明しただろう。それに多くの人間が懐疑的ながらも正解にたどり着いている。
I'm a bargaining chip.
クローン兵士計画？
そう、それ。つまりは優秀な兵士の遺伝子を組み込んだクローンを生み出そうっていう計画だね。
And as we stated before, one Kazami Yuji's fucking enough, dude.
大量殺戮兵器と同等に戦争も最後は人間っていう発想のもとに計画されたものだよ。身体能力はもちろんのこと、従順で精神的に強い兵士を作り上げる計画らしいけど、別に本気で即実戦導入を検討しているわけじゃなくて、20年後をめどに進行しているらしいよ。
Think about this for a second. A Kazami Yuji army that has none of the Yuji, like, problems, I guess you could say. Like his inability to actually kill people without his, you know, pin being pulled, as you say. That's fucking terrifying.
戦うための兵器を生み出すのと同じように、戦うための人間も作り出す。
そういうこと。まあロボットを作るよりはいくらか安上がりだよね。兵器に求められるのは攻撃力よりもまず安価であることが重要だし。
I feel like they'd be like the same cost. Or at least, I don't know.
1機30億円の飛行機を買うよりも30人の死を恐れない兵士を買う方がいいと考えるのは、長い期間戦争を続けている国では当たり前の考え方だよね。
そんな計画にどうして風見雄二が。
Oh boy.
それも簡単な話さ。今回日本に入国したテロリストであるヒース・オスロはユーズリーをクローン兵士計画の遺伝子提供者として高く評価している。
And he wants his property back.
君はどこまで知っているかわからないけど、オスロの元にいた風見雄二は極めて優秀な殺人装置だったからね。なんとしても取り戻したいんじゃないかな。
I don't want it.
それを阻止するために政府が身柄を拘束したと。
まあそれはそうなんだけど、それほど単純な話でもない。
Yeah, there's a lot more at play.
これはあくまでも僕の予想だけれど、オスロの目的はユーズリーだけじゃないような気がするんだ。
どういうことでしょ
う。だってユーズリーの身柄が欲しいだけじゃ大量殺戮兵器を国内に持ち込むリスクにメリットが見合わない。もっと大きな目的があると見るのが普通じゃないかな。
That's what I figured.
確かに。
実のところ僕はオスロの本当の目的は日本に極秘で配備されたシギントシステム、通称タナトスシステムの強奪なんじゃないかと睨んでいる。
タナトスシステム。
そう、そんな超法規的な諜報装置があることが公になればシャレにならないし、簡単にテロリストの手に渡すわけにはいかない。そこで交渉が始まる。つまりテロリストが欲しがっているケイザミ・ユーズリーを渡すからタナトスシステムを諦めろ。もし諦めないのなら我々はいつでも彼を処刑できる準備があるとね。要はユーズリーの身柄はテロリストに対する交渉材料としてストックされているというわけさ。
It's fucked up.
そのタナトスシステムには人命を犠牲にするだけの価値があると。
あるね。あるけれども、タナトスシステムの価値を君にどうやって説明したものか言葉が難しい。
彼を、風見雄二を救い出す方法は。
Robbie, please.
ないね。
Damn it.
そもそもユーズリー本人がそれを望んでいない。
そう、それが一番の問題ね。
They just bust down the door of the basement and they're like, we're here to save you. I said I didn't want it. Well, we're here. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, what the shit. With a harsh, unpleasant buzz from a speaker embedded in the ceiling, the cell's featureless door unlocked itself. See, here's the thing. Kazuki said in her voice, at least, that she was Thanatos in that little preview thingy that they had at the end. I think it's all coming up Millhouse. It's happening. Yuji had been sitting cross-legged on his bolted down bed, leaning his head against the padded wall as he aimlessly exercised his ocular muscles. But in the moment that door opened, a voice spoke to him, and he opened his eyes. Hello?
9029審問の時間だ。
I'm excited. The visitor who'd broken Yuji's idol, idle, peaceful Dude, I'm freaking out. Isolation was a man who'd previously introduced himself as Adam. I hate you, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. As the two of them stared at each other expressionlessly, Yuji slowly uncrossed his legs and slipped his feet into the pile of slippers that he'd been left lying on the room's oddly soft floor. What happened to Major Harudera?
言っただろう。貴様の担当官は私だ。それに、三佐は貴様にはもう愛想が尽きたとのことだ。
I see. Alright. He wasn't dejected by the fact that JB hadn't come. A hearing might sound promising, but it meant an informal court-martial to convey decisions that were already made. He'd be given a few questions that he could only answer yes to. Any statement on his part would be meaningless. Whatever the final judgment might be, Yuji wasn't eager for JB to learn of it. To put it simply, he was feeling the same relief as a punk kid who'd managed to avoid having his mom come pick him up from police custody after some meaningless fight. Without any sign of anxiety or anger, Yuji obediently held out his arms for the handcuffs Adam had produced. Hey, that's not necessary. I mean, there was no way to know what Adam thought of this indifferent behavior, but after a few moments he spoke again.
現状に何か不足はないか。担当官として足りないものがあれば上に申請する。
For starters, could you take off these handcuffs?
それはできない。
Alright. Will you scratch my ass for me then? I got an itch down there that's driving me crazy.
くだらん冗談が飛ばせるのも今のうちだ。
I mean, what if I actually have an ass itch? This was hardly the first time Yuji had faced a hearing or received disciplinary measures of some kind. Normally, such meetings were held in the small conference room on the second floor. The two of them boarded an elevator, and Adam retrieved an identification card from his suit. Slipping it into a slot next to the control panel, he proceeded to speak the name Adam Black into a concealed microphone. Having verified its occupant's identity, the elevator began to move, in a manner contrary to Yuji's expectations. It's going down, isn't it? Wait, we're going down? Yup.
黙ってついてくればいい。
They proceeded down a number of similar corridors, many protected by fingerprint and retina-based identification systems, and rode numerous elevators that took them both up and down. After about 20 minutes of patiently allowing himself to be dragged around by Adam, Yuji couldn't repress the urge to click his tongue irritably. It's like, I don't know how far you plan on taking me, but you're certainly being cautious about it.
今回貴様を審問する審問官がそれだけ特殊だということだ。
Oh, I'm sure. Who's it gonna be?
地下の彼女、もしくは教授と呼ばれる人物に心当たりはあるか？
Oh, yes. Yes, it does. Well, I've heard rumors about him, sure.
今回の審問官はその彼女だ。
See the quotes around the she, though? That effect. Answering half-heartedly, Yuji turned briefly to glance back at the hallway he just walked down.
窓を曲がるたびにいちいち背後を振り返るな。帰り道を覚える必要はない。
It's a scary thing to say. Why don't you blindfold me or something then, huh?
私にお前の手を引いて歩けというのか？
If you'd be so kind. True enough. Wouldn't want you falling in love with me. Look at Yuji.
本当に口の減らん男だな。お前には目隠しよりも猿グツワが必要だな。
Come on, laugh. You uptight fuck. How long you planning to keep me walking around like this anyway?
そうだな。風見よ、お前、今まで自分がいた部屋の方向はわかるか？
Directionally speaking, it's in front of us. We're currently walking toward the place I was confined in.
なぜそう思う？
Something felt a little odd about that last elevator ride. Unless I'm imagining things, I'm pretty sure the car made a rotation as it was moving through the shaft.
狙撃兵ってやつはコンパスがなくても 地磁気が読めるのか。渡り鳥のようなやつだな。散歩はあと30分追加だ。
Fuck. Oh, come on. You can't be serious. Precisely 30 minutes later, having been led around like a dog on a walk, Kazami Yuji, occupation student, finally found himself standing before an imposingly thick, bomb-resistant metal door. One final time, Adam offered up his key card. By the way, we've been going through like a bunch of retinal scanners and shit. He offered up his key card, palm, and retina for inspection. There's another one. With a heavy rumbling sound, the overlapping metal bolts that barred the door withdrew, and its lock was disengaged. Stumbling into the room at a shove from his commanding officer, Yuji found it unpleasantly cold. There was no hint of the current season in the air. The walls were concrete, painted white and devoid of windows. The room had no furnishings whatsoever. The only objects in the room that really stood out were the enormous monitor embedded in the far wall and the surveillance cameras positioned in all four corners of the ceiling. Yeah, right there. Oh boy. No one's around. Hope she didn't head home after all the time that we kept her waiting. Alright, with that, Adam walked up behind Yuji and opened a cheap-looking folding chair that he'd apparently produced out of thin air. Only one chair had been prepared. In other words, rather than meeting his interrogator directly, Yuji would presumably be speaking with them through the monitor in front of them. Him. Not that I'm really surprised, but after making him walk in circles for nearly an hour, they weren't going to meet him face to face. Just how paranoid was this person? Snorting quietly to himself, he dropped into the chair heavily enough to make it groan. In response, the monitor on the wall turned on, and the lights in the ceiling grew dim. Oh God. No, don't leave me alone! Oh God, the fucking door just... Adam turned on his heel and left the room. A moment later, the heavy door closed itself, and a series of gears shifted the metal bolts back into place. Oh, Jesus! The air pressure in the room abruptly changed. Yuji was forced to swallow in order to clear his ears. What exactly is going on here? As his eyes adjusted to the bright white image on the monitor before him, he found himself looking at a number of shutters resembling those of a camera lens. What the shit? Altogether, there were 10 of them drilled into what looked like a concrete foundation. They're all numbered too. The shutters opened, and 10 drum-shaped pillars emerged from the floor, rotating as they rose. He had no real standard of reference, so it was difficult to tell their exact size, but at a glance, each one of the pillars seemed to be at least 2 meters in height. The fucking... In the moment that their rise completed, a low metallic thunk reverberated through the room, and Yuji felt the floor vibrate beneath his feet. The room he was looking at might be closer by than he thought. There were presumably speakers hidden somewhere. A woman's voice filled the air, almost as if the room itself was speaking. In the same moment, the 4 cameras in the corner of the room turned their lenses toward Yuji. Ichigaya Special Duty Agent 9029, Kazami Yuji. Oh God, there's a genius locked up in the basement of Ichigaya who controls Japan's national defense. Yuji had heard rumors of the sort before. Are you telling me... Oh, God damn it. Dude, my mind's in a tizzy. His company had more than its share of secrets. So there were always plenty of unfounded stories going around. And it wasn't rare for unremarkable truths to be embellished dramatically. Still, can't say I was expecting the professor in the basement to be a machine. Oh... God, fuck! I'm aware you've helped me out of a few close scrapes, but that's an odd way to greet someone you're meeting for the first time. First time. It's been a while. What are you talking about?
まあいいわ。
As the professor let out a resigned little sigh, thin laser-like beams of light appeared from the four corners of the ceiling. At the point where they intersected and interfered with each other, or interfered, whatever, it doesn't even matter. A three-dimensional image containing phase information took shape.
あれ違うな。こっちかしら。
Oh boy, oh Jesus.
これでどう？
Ah! 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 Oh Jesus. Kazuki.
そう、風見和樹。あなたのお姉ちゃんよ。
This is insane. Stop it. This is one ugly joke. Kazuki, my sister died years ago.
そうね。書類上は死んだことになっているわね。じゃあ、私は誰？
That's what the records would tell you! Fuck! It's a lie. Why are you showing me this nonsense? What are you thinking?
相変わらず疑り深い子ね。周りを疑う前に、まずは自分を疑いなさいとあれほど教えたでしょ？ まあ、あなたが信じてくれないのも理解できるわ。簡単に結論から言ってしまえば、私はあのバス事故の後、あの山の中で生き残ったのよ。
I fucking know, but what? I need I need things.
詳細な経緯を説明するのは別の機会として、今許された時間で簡単に説明してしまうと。
Oh no, don't fucking tell me she's gonna take me back to the goddamn forest later. I do not want to go there.
まあ、食べ物をめぐる壮絶な殺し合いの末に次々と人が死んで、結局私も重度の傷を負ったわ。さすがに私ももうダメかしらと思いかけた頃に、天音のおかげで救助が来たのだけれど、私の体はもう手の施しようがなかったのね。
Oh, let's see what's going on here.
で、これは私も知らなかったのだけれど、私たちのお父様はメンサを通じて私の脳みそに保険をかけていたのね。
Sounds like something he'd do. So yeah, they saved her brain. Her body died. So technically, so she's in this this thing, this machine. Oh my god. I was right. Well, not about this part, but
その保証金額というのが軽く億単位だったということもあって、体を失っても脳だけは存続できないかという計画が立ち上がったわけ。そしてその計画に目をつけたのが日本における超法規的諜報通信網導入計画の発案者で、私の脳はそのまま事故として偽装され、私の頭部を利用したコンピュータの開発に成功。
really, if there's anyone's brain who I could think could handle a supercomputer or handle being a supercomputer, it'd be Kazuki's.
その結果がこうして今現在の私につながるというわけ。理解できた？
If I was Yuji, I'd be like, I'd just be in shock. Hold on a second. When did we leave the waking world behind? Did you mix something into my food? Take me back to reality, please. I'd rather dream I was a butterfly.
まあ、こんな説明で納得しろという方が無理よね。でも、生の脳みそを見せてあげるわけにもいかないし、見たところで脳の表面に名前が書いてあるわけでもないし、困ったわね。
If you're really Kazuki, then try to guess what I'm thinking of right now.
それは有機物？それとも無機物？
Inanimate.
それは手に持つことができるもの？
Yes.
プラスチックでできている？
Yes.
話しかけると返事をする？
Nope.
それは電気で動くもの？
Yes.
それで時間がわかる？
No.
それは口に入れるもの？
Yes.
電動歯ブラシ？
That's right.
懐かしいわね、この遊び。あなたがもっとずっと幼かった頃、よく二人で遊んだわ。
Dude, this is fucking surreal as fuck, though. For him and for me. Yeah, I remember. I really wanted to beat you, so I challenged you over and over again. Do you remember what I was thinking of the first time I got you to give up?
はあ、ガスの元栓ね。あれはあなたが私の質問で、それは火をつけるものと聞いたときに、いいえと答えたからわからなかったのよ。
God damn it. The gas itself is what starts the fire. The valve doesn't. Ah!
それはへりくつだわ。
Ah! Yeah, you said the same thing at the time. The games that the Kazuki siblings had played as young children weren't recorded in any database. Especially given the detailed nature of her memories, it was difficult to suspect that some third party had just created them. Is that really you, Nichan?
疑り深い子ね。だったら何でも質問してみればいいじゃない。
What's your favorite food?
ユージ。
It really is you. It really is you. When they were quite young, for some reason he could no longer remember, Yuji had asked his sister Kazuki what her favorite food was. Without a moment's hesitation, Kazuki had emphatically declared Yuji, and then proceeded to kiss him deeply on the mouth. At the time, he'd quivered with genuine fear at the thought that his sister really might want to eat him. Just remembering this made him want to curl up into a ball of embarrassment. By now, it was growing increasingly difficult for Yuji to doubt the reality in front of him. He couldn't help but admit that this truly had to be Kazami Kazuki. Ugh, my head's starting to hurt.
あら大変。でも大丈夫よ。人類は100年以上も前に頭痛薬の発明に成功しているもの。イブプロフェンにアセトアミノフェン、アセチルサリチル酸にエテンザミド。
Dude, that ibuprofen does some wonders.
後であなたの部屋に届けさせるから、医学の進歩に感謝しながら、用法用量を守って正しく服用しなさい。
Very thoughtful of you. How had this happened? What's even going on here? The questions swirled through Yuji's mind, but nothing resembling a coherent answer came into view. There was one point in particular that made it impossible for him to simply accept the situation he found himself in. If you were alive, and this close by, then why did you wait so long?
ごめんなさい。でも、分かって、ユージ。私だって、こんな姿をあなたには見られたくなかったのよ。
Bad circumstances.
私だって、もっと早くあなたに会いたかった。私に体があれば、私に力があれば、ヒースオスロの魔の手からもっと早くあなたを救い出せた。
Can we, make her a body? I know that sounds weird, but...
いいえ、それ以前にあなたを渡したりはしなかったわ。
Damn.
ごめんなさい、ユージ。遅くなって、本当にごめんなさい。いつもあなたのことに気づいてあげられなくて、ごめんなさい。
She knows now. Stop it, Nichan. Simply complaining about the past wouldn't change the present one bit. But if you look toward the future, those complaints can become lessons that help you avoid repeating the same old mistakes. Where do you go from here? What happens next? Under your current circumstances, what's the best course of action? Hold on just a second. Would you, I'm starting to get seriously mixed up here.
受け入れなさい。ありのままの現実を。そしてこの私を。
Okay, I mean, when your sibling's been dead for years, and then you see them as a hologram machine, it'd just be the most. It'd fuck with me. That's gonna take some time. Not that I'm bragging, but I've been through a hell of a lot by now. I figured there wasn't much that could rattle me too badly at this point. But my long-dead sister was literally turned into a piece of national defense equipment? This is just too insane.
そうは言っても時間がないのよ。
What do you mean?
これからあなたが何をし、私があなたに何を期待するか、それを説明するためにあなたをここに呼んだのよ。それを聞く覚悟はある？
Say anything you like. I doubt anything could surprise me at this point.
ねえ、ユージ。あなた、この国のために犠牲になってくれない？
Wee woo? Alright.
即答ね。というか、怒らないのね。こうなることは予想していた？
Well, JB did give me a general overview of the situation. I figured it'd be something along those lines. If I was speaking to anyone else, I'd probably be working myself up into a righteous rage at this point. But when it's coming from you, Kazuki, that's different. I won't question any order you give me, much less disobey. What exactly should I do? What exactly can I do? Those are my only questions.
そう。いい子ね、ユージ。
His original god is back.
では、時間も限られていることだし、簡単な状況説明から始めましょう。ヒース・オスロが大量殺戮兵器を国内に持ち込んだという話は聞いているわね。
Confirmed, yes. Yeah, I'm not clear exactly what kind of weapons, though.
確証がないから断言はできないけれど、おそらくは核異生体爆弾と呼ばれるものである可能性が高いわね。
Frightening.
広い中性子捕獲断面積を持つ繊維金属。つまりは、冷気させたハフニウムに低出力の X 線を照射することで、ガンマ線崩壊を加速させ、臨界量に制限されない、より小型で強力になった夢の新型核兵器ね。
Jesus.
まあ、あえてどこの国かは明言をしないけれど、ヒース・オスロの所有する兵器開発企業に、これまでに1000万ドル以上の研究費を投じた国があるの。
More like a major pain in the ass.
あなたも随分とお世話になった国よ。あまり悪く言うものではないわ。彼も喧嘩に勝ち続けるのに必死なのよ。
Anyway, how much of this nasty stuff did Oslo smuggle into Japan?
3000ミリグラム。
What? Just 3 grams?
言ったでしょ？強力なのよ。そのたった3グラムの爆発規模は半径50キロにも及ぶわ。
Oh my god. So the next generation matchbox bomb everyone always dreamed of has finally been made into a reality.
マッチ箱は少し大げさね。クリスマスケーキの箱ぐらいの大きさは必要よ。それに、まだ実験の域を出ていない技術だから、どこまで実用化できているかも多少の疑問があるわね。
He's trying to intimidate the government with a weapon that isn't even finished yet?
噂の威力も兵器の性能ということよ。
I mean, that's some scary rumors. Like, come on.
そんな兵器が完成しているわけがないと無視できるほど無知な国ばかりではないでしょうし、ましてや研究費の大半を負担していた国ともなればなおのことよ。
Let me get to the point. Why did Oslo smuggle this stuff into the country, despite all the risks? What's his primary objective?
あなたは今、そのオスロの一番の目的の上に椅子を置いて座っているわ。
Mm-hmm. What?
男の目的なんていつも同じ。体目当て。あの男は私が欲しくて仕方がないのよ。
Now's not the time to be joking. I mean, it's not really a joke. Are you saying...
そう。彼の一番の目的は私。通信傍受型諜報活動網の根幹、タナトスシステムであるということよ。
Well, we can't let that happen. I don't want to lose Kazuki a second time. Is this Thanatos system worth that much to him?
タナトスシステムというのは、独立した分散管理型ネットワークシステムで、制限のない情報監視網に加え、陸自の DICS、海自の MOF を含む JTIDS の管理運用が可能なのよ。世界中の通信傍受はもちろんのこと、あらゆるシステムに侵入が可能。もっと端的に一番わかりやすい例えをすれば、この世のすべての暗号が意味のないものになると言えば理解できる？
Well, we cannot let this fall into the wrong hands. I always thought you were a bit on the superhuman side, Nachon, but it seems you've turned into a genuine monster since the last time I saw you.
このことは秘密だから、クラスのお友達に自慢したりしちゃダメよ。
But I wanna. Don't want people thinking you're a know-it-all, huh?
何でもできる女だと思われると、もっと面倒。実際、噂を聞きつけた王子様が爆弾を片手に力ずくで私を手に入れようとしているの。どうしよう、ユージ。このままじゃお姉ちゃん、テロリストにレイプされちゃうわ。
That's certainly outrageous. I'd love to do something about it, but this seems a bit much for me to handle on my own. Why don't you have the government help you out?
それができればあなたを呼んだりなんかしないわ。
I need to gather a crack team of idiots, and I know just the 5 girls to do. I got the 5 girls. I can call back the bush dogs. Bruh, come on. Come on.
某英国にしてみれば、私という存在で日本に不必要な情報力を持たれても困るけれど、開発援助という形で日本の情報が現状より細密に得られる。日本にしてみれば英国の情報技術能力。つまりはエシュロンとリンクすることで得られる情報は欲しいけれど、国内の情報をスキャニングされる不安と国防を英国に握られることに不満はある。私がテロリストに奪われるリスクは大きいけれど、英国にしてみれば所詮は他人の財布。すられたところで被害は最小で済むし、
I don't like any of this.
日本の詩吟と導入計画は時期尚早とする反対派の口を封じることもできる。一方で日本にしてみても費用的な損失はあるものの、自宅のハードディスクの中身を他人に見られるような不快感から解放されるというメリットがあるという考え方もできる。要はどちらの国にしても奪われても構わないが、奪われたことによる利点が必要ということになるわけね。
It's definitely real messed up. Why'd they even create the system in the first place then? Also, if Oslo steals a computer like that and misuses it, financial losses in the international packing order are gonna be the least of everyone's problems.
そこで今話し合われているのが、システムの 20% をオスロに提供するという妥協案ね。要求としては、オスロがタナトスシステムと同時に欲している風見有事を供出する代わりに 20% のシステム供与で同意させる。でも 20% とはいえ、できれば許したくはないというのが本音よ。
I mean, even 20% sounds like it'd be nuts. Sure, it's like getting pushed down by a rapist and then offering the guy oral if he doesn't take your virginity.
あなた、しばらく会わないうちに随分と下品になったわね。
Kazuki, I've been through a lot of shit. You're the one who made the analogy first, okay?
まあいいわ。つまりはそういうことよ。いろいろな損得感情のある中で、できうる限りの防御線を張っておきましょうというのがあなたを呼んだ理由。そこであなたにやってもらいたいのが、 私をおとりとしたテロリスト壊滅作戦というわけね。
God, that's a mega dangerous plan.
オスロが 20% の条件を飲もうと飲まざると、あなたをオスロのもとに送り込んで、オスロを暗殺させようという計画なのだけれど、どうかしら。
I like it. Let's do this. Another assassination job, huh? You do realize I'd failed to kill him the other day, right?
あなたにしても、諸悪の根源たるオスロとの決着は、悪夢からの決別という意味でも必須だろうし。
But like, what's... It's Kazuki telling us to do this. Our original god, right? Wouldn't that, like, outweigh our, like, trauma that we had when we saw Oslo? I don't know, man. I'm just...
オスロが未だにあなたをコントロールできると思っていても、今のあなたはもう昔のあなたではないわ。あなたはこれまでに多くの経験を積み、多くの困難を乗り越えてきた。ましてや、今のあなたには私がついているのよ。十分に勝ち目はあると戦術師さんが出ているから安心しなさい。
If there's one thing I like, it's respectable chances of victory. Can't say I'm feeling all that optimistic myself.
あなたにしかできない仕事だし、あなたにしか頼めない仕事なの。お願いよ、ユージ。
Yuji, she's pleading. Alright, I'm on board.
そう、ありがとう、ユージ。あなた、昔に比べると本当に変わったわね。
God, I love where this story's going. My master used to say, the values of a man changes based on what he experiences, what he sees, what he thinks, and the men he meets. I wasn't going to be the boy you knew forever, Neichan. Crying and complaining won't change a thing. To change the world, you have to start off by changing yourself. Yuji knew this, and he knew that, for all his talk, he hadn't really changed on a fundamental level. Over the years, he'd slowly learned to do things he couldn't do before, but he was still blundering awkwardly through life, and he was still a coward at heart. What he needed now was the courage to take a step forward. I'll do what I can, for as long as I can. Oh, fucking fuck! But just as he reached his decision, the sound of a buzzer filled the air. The door began to unlock itself, and Adam's voice flowed through the speakers in the ceiling.
9029時間だ。独房へ戻れ。
Guess I need to be going.
残念ね。でも、またきっと会えるわ。
I hope so, Kazuki. Bye, Neichan. Fuck! Fuck! Oh, I need a break after that. My mental stability and my emotions can't handle it. So it's not quite like what I was thinking. I mean, I dabbled in thinking, oh, maybe like her body wasn't, or like maybe her brain was saved or something. But I never really like thought that was gonna be the case, but it was. The guru's still right, damn it. Praise the guru. Oh my god. Let me just sit here for a while and just relax and decompress.